Morning, everyone. Say hi if you're out there. Sorry to be a day late. I had a birthday yesterday, and the celebration is continuing this afternoon. Alrighty, let's see where we are. It's sunny here. I hope it's nice weather where you are. Just waiting for my computer to catch up. Hold on, computer. Let's see. And we should be live. Yes. Whoop, where'd you go? It disappeared on me. Isn't that always fun? All right, let's make it a little bigger so I can make sure. Whoops. Sorry about that. Mute my. All right. Let's go up just a smidge more. I don't know why there's such a lag time on the computer to the live. And why is it frozen? Is it frozen? No, it's not frozen there. There we go. It's catching up. Wow. Computer is really, really slow today. All right. So I am on page 61 of the new annual catalog. It looks like that. And I spiral bound it. So don't say, ooh, how come I didn't get one that way? And actually, my friend spiral bounded it for me. As always, thank you so much for shopping with me. And I thought I would recreate some artwork. And then I might have to do it again because I love this collection, Boho Vibes. Here's the rest of it. And I didn't even get to this page yet, so I may have to do a second one. All right, so what are we talking about? I'm going to make this. I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to show you this one. And then I'm going to show you this one and how I think they did it. Because as you go along, it's sometimes hard to recreate. And I don't know that the, what are they called? That the recipes are up yet. I should know that. I'll check them. And if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so we're starting with this one. Okay? And I'm going to put that up there for reference and show you the card that I made, which is right here. Okay? And I also want to show you how I changed it up a bit. So keep that close. Don't think I did that too much. All right. So I put a little strip of cloud cover, and I framed my words in cloud cover. Now, if you want it more white on white, that does look nice. And I did raise this up, and it looks like you can tell right there that possibly they raised that up, but I don't know for sure. Okay. All right. So this is my white piece. And as I was looking at, I'll bring that back in a sec. As I was looking at this, I'm like, oh, I don't have a whole circle. So you obviously have to put two together. And then this is just a piece, like a moon. And then we have this piece. Okay? All right. So what I did, I'll even show you my scratch paper. I tested it and I kind of sized it with my paper and with this. You can see there's quite a bit of gap there and quite a bit of gap there. So that's kind of how I judged what size to make this. And then I also looked at the outline and again judged on how big to make it. So if you want to know, this white piece is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. 3 by 5/8, 4 by 7/8. Okay? I'm just gonna put that on here so it's a little cleaner. Then I always like to use my grid paper, and I'm gonna have to pull this down towards me. Hopefully you'll be able to see as I do this first part. Okay. So colors. I just went and grabbed all of the cardstock. Here's where the color listing is. I grabbed all of those cardstocks and all of those inks, okay? Now, we don't have the cloud cover ink yet. It reacted with the sponge pad and turned gray. So I just bought a re-inker and some of these little blank color spots and made my own tiny one for now until we get a bigger one, okay? So we're starting with, and these are some light and dark colors, so I would open it, use it, close it, so you don't stamp your Cajun Craze or your Secret C into your Daffodil Delight, okay? All right, now I know that it has to be more towards the left and down a little bit, so I am going to put this first one, and I'm kind of looking at this line right there, okay? It's a solid stamp, so leave it a second longer. Now I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to have to pull it close to me. And basically, when you're lining something up, I usually, let's see if I can even do it. I usually line it up best I can, and see I'm a little off. So if you pull it to where you can see it, it's a little bit easier. And I also say, when you think you got it where you want it, and I'm still a little off, but it's okay. Smooch it up, just shift it just slightly closer, so you don't get a line in between. Better to go a little over than have a line in between, in my book. If you don't mind the line, then do that. All right, now we're pulling out Cajun Craze. And we only need a half a one. Again, I'm going to use my mat, and I'm just going to kind of make sure I'm kind of lined up. And that's a good way to do it. Wipe that off. Close that up. Pull in our secret C. And this little guy. Again, I'm going to do that and try and get it about the same. That means just a touch more ink. Like so. Very pretty. And next is our green. Let's put that away. The green is Mossy Meadow. Okay. That nice and stamped up. And then this one goes a little bit over here and up. And I kind of looked at where the leaves are to kind of gauge how it needs to be. And it can really be wherever you want. I think I got some wet. Yes. See when it kind of puddles like that? I'll show you the other one so you can see the difference. It kind of makes some, see how this one is nice and solid other than it had something on it? And this one is more, I don't know, not enough ink on it. It could also be either not enough ink or that your block, your stamp itself, had a little bit of moisture or water. So you always want to make sure that your stamps are nice and dry, especially if you clean them off in between. And then what I do is I just clean it off and I just kind of stamp it dry, okay? And you got to watch the little grooves because it really gets in the little grooves, and that's where this little chamois goes in there nicely. From Stampin' Up, thank you. And that's our first card. I also used, oh, what did I use? I wanted to show you. I used some of this, which is the foam adhesive strips, and it's just a whole sheet of strips, and you just cut them down. That way I could get all the way along the back to lift it up so it didn't get squished. And then I used these dots, so I added that because, again, it's really plain here, kind of that white on white look. And this is the in color dots, and I used the cloud cover. Because I added the cloud cover, I wanted to add it in 3 spots. We have the green in a couple, and these are kind of irrelevant. Okay, so that's how I did that one. Let's get rid of those. All right, I will bring that one back in. Next, I wanted to show you this one. Put this up so you can see it right next to it. Okay, so how did I figure this out? Well, I just got this. Oh, isn't that glorious? Open that one. This is the party banner dies, and I didn't get the alphabet, and I should have. There's a bundle, which saves you 10%, but oh well. It is a little hefty in price because look at all these dies, and the biggest one is like 7 1/4 by about 5 3/4, so it's a good sized chunk of dies. And I used the 4th one in. How did I decide that? I pulled out the hello and kind of put it, just set the stamp along this die, and then I knew which one. At first I started with a smaller one, and it's like, okay, you can see that it's not big enough. This one here, you can see that that would not be big enough. Doesn't match the picture as well. Okay, so I used, again, the 4th one from the center. Okay, all right, let's get rid of that. And then this looks exactly like this piece. And it looks like, you can see, oh, okay, I see what they did. As I'm looking here more closely, if you look right there, let's see if I'm getting it up to where you can see. My computer is so slow. It's still talking about the leaf. Come on. Okay, all right, well, it's as close as it can get, but I don't know if you can see it. I thought this was a die cut, and I'm like, I don't have that die cut. I guess I'll have to find another die cut. But if you look right there, you can see the remnants of either powder from embossing powder that didn't fully cook or had some spots in it. So they embossed and cut that out. And they must have went in between. So I did not know that at the time. So what I did was I went looking for something similar. And I found in the mixed florals this die, which is right here. And I thought, well, that's fairly close, and people might have this stamp set. The paper's still available. I don't know if the stamp set is. It could be. Mixed florals. So that's what I used on this one. And there again, I just got me some thread. The linen thread is from this nice pack of essentials, which has 4 different colors, all your neutrals, which is perfect. If you want that number, it's 155475, Baker's Twine Essential Pack. Love this one because it's thinner than the thicker twine. We have a twine that's a little thicker than this, but I like this thin one. Okay. All right. What else to tell you about? Oh, the papers. So the paper, here's the papers. This is going to be coming in and out. And this is the one I used. And it looks like this on the other side. And here's the rest of them. So I'll just go through them quick. There's this one. I call this the pattern side and the neutral side. Aren't these fun? And then I have a piece of this one and a piece of this one because we're using those. So if you want to see those, let me know. This just continues across like that. And this, see how this swirl is? That was right here. Okay? All right. Those out of the way. Oh, and if you'd like to see the stamp set, here it is. Sunshine Vibes. And it doesn't look like much, but you can do a lot with this set. And the dies are right there. And little tip for you that I just realized, this is a left and a right, or a right and a left, depending on, you know, when it's right side up. There's several rainbows, and then there's this that you could do rainbows on, or you could put it on like a color or white, and then you can cut out several of these. So that's kind of cool. You cut it out all in the same, well, I don't know if you could cut it at the same time. I think you would cut the base. I love this swizzle one. I can't wait. Like I said, I didn't even get up to the ones I wanted to play with. But you know, and there's these little stars here, which you can see on here. They put the little hearts, stars, the hearts. They put the little hearts there. This is just more of the stems and stuff. This one's so pretty. I want to make that one next, but I might change it up a bit. And just use these as ideas, and then use what you have. Even if you don't have this stamp set, this could still just be an idea. Put whatever papers you have, whatever, you know, extra bits you have, whatever words you want, and make it your own. All right, so that's that. What else do I need to show you? Okay, so that's piece number 2. And I don't know, I can't get away from looking at this and saying, and I don't want to kind of give you this so now you'll never see it, but it looks like a corn stalk to me. So that might be great to pull out in the fall and make corn stalk, especially along the bottom of the scrapbook page. That would be great. All right, and the last one today. Like I said, I may have to play with this again. Oh, I wanted to show you, I haven't used these yet, but I will. These are muted palette dots that go with it. Again, they're right there. But that doesn't look like that, does it? These are softer colors in a catalog are hard to make true. And here's those patterns I showed you, the stamp set. Okay. All right, what are we doing next? Next, I'm going to do this one. And I have a couple tips for you. I'm going to bring this in. So here's what I did, and I'll tell you why. I need to glue that down just a little bit. Okay. So, how did I figure out this one? Here it is. Here it is. Well, partially. So, I know that this is 6 by 6, right? So I know this is less than 6, and you can see that it's all the way from the top and to the bottom. And how I told that it was this wavy pattern, which I think it is, I don't know. You don't see very much of it, but I think it's this wavy pattern. I think I got the right one. This one I'm not sure about. And again, sometimes they have artwork where they've been working on stuff and maybe this didn't make it in. I think that's stamped on though. But that happens sometimes. So anyway, back to this. So I'm looking at this, and if you cut this in half to 3 by 3, if you look from here to here and here to here, let me hold this up so you can see better. If you look from here to here and there to there, you can see that this is longer than this. So this is further over than 3 inches. Okay. So this one I know is going to be a bit up from the top, from the bottom, and you could go and count these 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm about right. So I just cut a piece. You get better as you do it, okay? And what I would do is I wouldn't cut this first. If you're unsure, don't cut that. Cut scrap paper, cut printer paper to figure out how big these are, okay? But I figured that it was about little over 2 inches. So this one is actually 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 by, I would say 5 3/8. Okay. So then this one is definitely smaller. It goes a little over the edge. Make sure I'm on camera. Goes a little over the edge, and it peaks, you know, a little that way. So this one might be just a smidge bigger, and this one is 1 3/4 inches. It could be like 1 1/4 inches. It's probably more like 1 1/4 inches on here. And then mine is 4 5/8 long. Okay. So I put those on, and then I stamped on Daffodil Delight for the sun. Where'd my sun go? Oh, it's around here somewhere. Hopefully, there it is. Okay. Oh, and now I knocked it on the floor. Of course. I don't want to lose that piece. All right. So, and that piece. So I'm looking at this, and I have my Daffodil Delight, and I stamped the sun on it. This piece, right on there. And then I stamped the rays. But I turned it over and stamped it on this is the two-tone cardstock, the 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock. And it shows up much better. You can see. This is full Daffodil Delight, stamped with Daffodil Delight ink. This is the lighter side of Daffodil Delight with daffodil ink, okay? Cut those out. And at first I only had one cut out. But then when you put this like this, it's way too small. It doesn't fit behind here or anything, okay? And they might have done more. But when you're looking at it, oh, I know what they did. Well, I made mine work. I only had one. What they did is this. They took this. Now I see, of course. All right, where's my Daffodil Delight? I see what they did. Let's get rid of that. So, they took this. And hopefully I have enough room. They inked it up once. And they inked it up twice. That's how they did it. Maybe I'll put that over that. And then they just cut it out. All right? Clean that off. So that's how they did that. You never know. You got to sit and study it. And, you know, I made it work. Okay, let me show you, since I've got this, how to, where's my scissors? Scissors. Oh, and let me go back. I used this, this is online from February. They're still around. The 1/8 inch punch to punch my hole. So I wanted to show you what I used. All right, what am I looking for? Back to this. Scissors. Where are my scissors? You, if you could see past the camera, you would see the mess I'm dealing with. And I can't find my scissors, so pardon me, I'll have to use some different scissors. So, I wanted to show you how I cut stuff out and get it nice and smooth. First thing is I get it down to a good size that's easy to work with. And then it's all about moving your paper, not your scissors. And it's all about doing a continuous cut without taking it out. So, let's see, I'm going to start over here. And hopefully you can, let me stand up and see if I can. So I'm going to go up, and I kind of follow the pattern, and always make circles. When you turn the corner, I'm just following around like a die cut would be. And then I'm even going to make a circle, half a circle, when I come up and around this next ray. Make a circle, go down a little farther, go around that one, and just keep going around and down. And if you have to, you can go back. See, I didn't make very good of a circle, of a kind of a circle there. So I'm just going to fix that. Back up to here. And that's how I cut stuff out that looks like a, not a die cut. I've got die cut on my brain. Looks like a sticker or punch art. What is that called? Ephemera? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to do that, finish that. You get the picture. And I'll go back and put it on after class. All right. So now, where are we at? so that's how they did that. I left these pieces off to show you. So this is a 6x6, and at first I cut out a 3x4 photo and it was way too big. And I've got 2 layers, so that represents the photo layer and the matte layer. So then I took it down to 4 inches. Do I still have 4x3? No, I have 2 3/4 this way and 4 this way, but my actual picture is more like 3 3/4 by 2.5. Okay, so I just went down from the 3x4 size until it looked good. Okay, like so. Now, they also had this one little foofy stamp. Where's my stamps? This little foof, as Rachel calls them, right there. And, get rid of that. It is, you can see it right there. There's one right there, and there's one there, and there's a couple there. Oh, see, I didn't even see those. They're so tone on tone that they're hard to see, which that looks better. And I didn't even see that they were going different directions. I only saw one. There's actually 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there. Okay. So I put one there, one there. I put one here, but it was too even. So I put some on another crumb cake piece, and then I have that one. All right. So then I cut out, here's another difference that I made. I did white to stamp my leaf pattern on. They did cloud cover on with cloud cover ink. Okay. And they also used the blue or the petal pink on the petal pink 6x6, which if you want it more softer, see, I didn't even see that one. Softer, then do that, but I think I might use a different color. All right. Also, I didn't want to emboss, so I just used the C, Secret C on this piece of crumb cake, and I cut it out with this one, which is Stylish Shapes, and it is 1, 2, the 3rd one. And all I did was I took my stamp and I had the die. I don't know, maybe you all thought to do this already. And I just put the die down and see if it fits. Like I said, could be like, well, duh. But that's what I did. And I wanted to show you, because this says sending good vibes, but they just used good vibes, so it's really easy. Get the ink out. To just take, and at the end, since it's such a nice line between, just do that, and then you just have the words you want. Maybe you have another stamp set that goes with vibes, and you don't want to use good, so you could even back it off one more. So it's most of the time it's pretty easy when there's enough space in between. If you needed to, you could put a piece of sticky note over it, ink it up, take the sticky note off, and then stamp it. But this one was super easy to get, like so. Okay, all right. Where are we at? Moving on. That seems to be a little wet, so I'm going to get rid of that. All right, so now, and let's pull this in where you can see it. You can see that that is way over the picture, and I'm not sure what picture I'm going to use. So if I put this on about here, then I was thinking I would just tuck this into here, and this one's tucked here, and that looks good. Okay, and then all you have to do, and I'm just going to set that there for now, is put that there. So that works, but this would be prettier because it's just one layer. Okay, all right. So maybe you do 12 by 12, or maybe you don't do anything. Maybe you'd like to do 12 by 12. This could be added to a 12 by 12. And I've got a couple different colors to show you that this could be like your title. And this could be the focal picture of what the whole layout is about, you know. And then you could go on from there. You could add another, like take this piece and do like a square here. And let me just pull this in. So you can go and look in the catalog and look at designs. But you could take this piece and just put a square here and a square here, and then your eye kind of follows, and then have another little grouping or cluster, as we call them, of the pieces down here, and then your eye would travel from here to here. You could have journaling here, and then it would flow out. Or you could do here, here, and you could put your little pieces up here, and it would flow out. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, I wanted to show you on this, and I don't think this is, no, that's not two-tone cardstock, that's just single. But then, try it on here. And what I would do, that makes this pop a little bit more, but there was a little bit of this, so that's why I kind of wanted to add it in. But you could add some journaling lines that were the Cajun craze. So you want to take all those colors and just blend them in. And the white has a nice background because I did do the white here. And I have the white photo mat. Okay, does that make sense, hopefully? See if I can see a question. Hey, Judy, thanks for watching. So I will finish up and make a layout out of this. And you could even cut off a piece of this and put it, you know, a smaller piece. And then a bigger piece, a different shape. It doesn't have to always be, could be a circle out of that. Anything to lead your eye from this page to this page and away. And remember, focal point, I usually double mat or even triple mat. That's just one. And that's what I have for you today. So let's take this off of here. Pull in our other two pieces so you can see everything. Sorry, this one's not down yet. I gotta fix that. And I would like to know, of these three, which one's your favorite? And leave me a comment. Would you look through the catalog a little differently now and try and figure out how they made stuff? I'd love to know. As always, take care, have a great weekend, and I will see you next week on Friday. If you can like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate it. It's Jackie Bluhm 3117. Bye now.